Okay. Okay, guys. So basically, what I wanted to make introduce the session as. So yeah, um, there are basically three types of reality as far as in the digital world is concerned, and apart from the in the technology terms, there are three types of reality. So the first one is virtual reality, augmented reality, and the mixed reality. So right now we are going to see about virtual reality. I'll explain what are these three types of realities as well. So let's say first one is called as virtual reality. Virtual reality is nothing but you as a user, you are going into a virtual environment. So this is called as a virtual reality. So for example, let's say you are given a headset, some kind of a virtual reality headset, which one you wear and go into a virtual environment. Let's say I'm sitting in my home here and I wear a virtual reality headset, and I move into a virtual environment, something like Jurassic Park, where I see some dinosaurs coming here and there, and see some water flowing nearby. So whereby I am completely into a virtual environment. This is called as a virtual reality. And the second one is called as a augmented reality. So as far as the augmented reality is concerned about, so it is like augmenting a 3D a virtual object into the real world. Let's say for example, this is a real world which I am living in right now. So right now I'm just augmenting a 3D object. Let's say a dinosaur. I'm just augmenting it to come into the real world, and I'm making it to appear here. So that is an example of augmented reality. So these two are two basic terms that you would have heard most often uh, in the daily news, in the news, in the technology world perspective. So these are the two technology terms. So I hope you would have heard about a new game called a Pokemon Go. So that is a fantastic example of a augmented reality game. And the third one, which is called as mixed reality. So mixed reality is nothing but you are able to interact with the virtual elements by using your hand or face gestures. So it is called as a mixed reality. For example, let's say you are coming in. Uh, let's say a dinosaur that is augmented here, you are able to interact with it. It is called as a mixed reality. So these are the three different perspectives as far as reality spectrum is concerned about. So I'll just show you guys some video before jumping into it. Give me a time. Give me. Yeah. Okay, guys. So this is a example of a VR video. So I hope you guys would have come across this video in the internet. So of her the 6-year-old daughter, which the users, which the Korean VR team, which the Korean VR company has made to come into a virtual world where the daughter goes into and reacts with and interacts with the kid. So this has triggered a huge wave across the digital community, and everyone was sharing it a lot. So this is a wonderful thing that they have done to make the kid and mother react. So it generates emotions as well. On looking at this video, you can understand as well. It is. as you guys can see, the kid here, it is completely a virtually generated 3D kid, so which looks alike as a real kid, and it is and is virtually generated by using computer graphics into the virtual environment. As you see here, the mother of the kid here, she's standing in front of a green screen and she's just wearing a goggle headset and she's using gloves. So by using these sensors present in the gloves and from the VR headset, the kid, I mean the mother is able to virtually interact with the kid, 3D kid. So this has generated a huge variety of emotions in the digital community. This is a wonderful example how virtual reality thing can uh, help a team in the future. I mean, help team. So yeah, this is one such example. Okay, guys. So let me jump into the presentation. So I hope you guys would have got some example about the reality spectrum and how would this affect and how will affect in the community and how does this affect the technology as well. So I will explain you guys what is virtual reality all about and how what are the things you need for generating something in the virtual reality spectrum and apart from virtual reality side, and how would reality affect the economy in the coming days, and what are the areas can virtual reality be given. Yeah, so guys, let us jump first into the history. Okay, so let us jump first into the history of the history of virtual reality. So basically, the virtual reality was developed around 1950s by Morton Hilberg by using single image, whereby the users he or she would have to look into a huge box and look into the whole virtual environment, which helps the user to look at the virtual objects and move to a different virtual environment. So this is the first initial starting point of, I mean, 0.1 point of virtual reality. So we have grown way past this right now at this moment. Yeah. So yeah, this is there are even different types in virtual reality even. So I'll just tell you guys what are these things. So namely immersive, non-immersive, and window to the virtual world. So I'll just give you examples of these three. So I'm sure you guys will be excited on hearing these three things and seeing the potential. How can you guys use this? Yeah. So immersive virtual reality. So immersive virtual reality is nothing but, so you just wear a headset and you move to a different environment. That is immersive. So the previous example which I told you by going to a Jurassic World, that is one such example. Or the another one where you, as described in the image, where you just wear a headset and you move to an aquarium. I mean, you move to a into the aquarium or into ocean space. This is an example of immersive virtual reality. These are the terms. I mean, these are terms that you can just note it down or you can use when you are speaking to someone. So that will be these terms will be helpful for you guys. Yeah, non-immersive is nothing but some kind of a playing video games. I hope you guys would have played games, several games like this. I mean, as shown. So, for example, you are just hitting using some sensors as a bat and a ball, and you're just bowling into the screen. And when the bowler is bowling, you are just hitting, playing cricket by using the large screen by using hand sticks. That will help you guys to create to immerse. to immerse yourself into the game and play yourself as a real character. So that is one such example of a non-immersive VR. So I think you both guys should be clear about these two things. Let me just jump into the third one. So which is called as window into the virtual reality. So I have you guys on seeing the picture, you just get the clear understanding of this. So basically, what it is so yeah. So you wear a headset and you are able to you just move to a different world where, for example, you just move to a sports world. I mean, you just move to mm, a sports stadium, or else you just move. You're able to interact with the little by. I mean, you're able to. I'm sorry. You're able to interact with the things that are present in the environment here and there. So that is an example of window into the virtual world. So I mean, I'm sure you guys are clear about these three topics. So these are terms as far as virtual reality is concerned. Now I'll just tell you guys what are the hardware devices that you guys can use for. I mean, for using virtual reality. So basically, as in every technology, you will be the input devices and output devices. I'll just show you guys what are the devices that you can use. I mean, that are used most frequently. Okay. So yeah, let me just tell you guys what are these devices and how these devices are used on what purpose are these devices used. Yeah. So firstly let me jump explain from this one. Preo VR. So the Preo VR is something that suit which an artist wears and walks by using the capture by capturing the things by capturing the user's movements. We will be able to pinpoint his hand and hand. I mean his hand bone movements and coordinate it with the virtual object in the environment and virtual object that is in the virtual environment. By using this, we can make a or 3D object move. So I'm sure you guys would have seen these things in several Hollywood films and then even in Tamil films. Something like and in an Ata film or an Indian films you would have guys would have watched. And the next one is a Razer Hydra. So I'm sure you guys would have come across several devices like this Razer Hydra and STEM, some kind of similar things uh, present. So by using which we can, I mean, mostly you can see this in the gaming industry. So people will be having some kind of a sticks in their hand and play games. So those are some examples. I mean, those are some typical devices used as some similar to Razer Hydra and STEM, by using which you can play games and then move to the virtual environment and do stuff. So that is called Razer Hydra and STEM. So both are technically the same but used for different purposes. Leap motion. Uh, yeah, Leap motion is a device which we are researching on a little bit. I mean, a lot we have got. So what it does is, you do not need to wear. You do not need to wear any physical gloves into your system. All you have to do is do some face gestures, I mean hand gestures. By using your hand gestures, it just captures your movement and coordinates it with the system. So it is a wonderful technology. It is complete. I mean, you will have to buy this device, and you can just start using on your own system and start playing games. I mean, creating your own uh, games or your own intelligent systems and etc. So this has a huge potential. Leap motion. It is a future. It is a future. It has a huge potential. I'll show you more about this once the PPT. I mean, once the slide gets over. The magic one. So as the name suggests, it is yeah, the magic one. As the name suggests, it is some kind of a magic by which by using the stick in your hand you will be able to use. I mean, you can draw stuff, you can move. I mean, you can control your system by using it. You can build the system in a virtual environment by using it. So you can do a lot by using the magic band. As the name suggests, it is innovative. It is great. And control VR. So basically, it is then in order to overcome the control VR, uh, the guys came out with Leap Motion. So it is basically some kind of a glove where you just grab your hand and move your hand position in the tree. I mean, in your real world, by using the sensor, it coordinates with it and moves the virtual object that we have assigned in the virtual environment. So let's say if we have created an 3D object or 3D cartoon of yourself. So we have created an Jackie Chan per se. We have created a virtual 3D Jackie Chan and we have left it in the virtual environment. So once we hold our hands and release, what it does is, so it makes the it makes the virtual object, the hands of the virtual objects to move. So something like that. So it coordinates with it and moves in the virtual environment as well. So this is another one of the innovative ways by which we can move forward. Things by which you can give input to the computer system by using the hand and face. By using the sensors. So, so these are typical devices, most commonly used devices by which you can communicate with the computer. Communicate with the system. And apart from this, after this, I'll show you guys the output devices. So basically, as far as the output is concerned, all you guys have to do is the main output device is considered as headset. So since it is virtual reality, all you have to need is a glass and use this. So headset is the must one, and 3D it's 90% of the virtual reality content that you are seeing is experienced through more than 90% of the virtual reality content is experienced through the headset, and all these things are as an added flavor to the main dish, which gives you more experience of it. So that is with the 3D. That is with the 3D audio, and that is with the gloves by which you can sense it. So Helsinki, it is something like a camera that is switched around, and it gives you a 360-degree rotation of it. Yeah. So these are the input and output devices are concerned about. Now I'll tell you guys about the applications. So these are the way by which we can experience the virtual reality content. So now I'll just tell you guys how how what are the applications can it give to you guys. Yeah. So I'm just giving you some basic, some simple examples. So let's say virtual reality in military. So just imagine uh, the cost taken for conducting a military drill, for driving a military tank per se, for a single soldier to drive a military tank from 1 kilometer, for a distance of 10 kilometer, and blasting a bomb by using the handles, by using real military tank, is 1 crore per se. I'm just saying the same thing, the cost taken for and yeah, okay, the cost taken for for driving a distance of 110 meter and 10 kilometer and making a military dig of shooting a target is around 1 crore. And I'm sure there are some hidden expenses like maintenance and petrol cost, something less. Let us assume it just comes around 1 crore. So by using virtual reality in the military environment, so what we can do is we can just reduce the cost of the driving the military van up to, we can bring down at least to 10 lakhs. So we are just reducing the 90% of the budget by creating a digital clone of it, digital twin of it. This is
the key important thing of bringing digital industry. So digital twin. So this is what is blowing away right now. So creating a digital twin of something that is present in the real world is the big thing that is going on right now. So an example of virtual, that is where virtual reality, augmented reality, everything comes into play. We are just reducing the cost of the whole thing.
Yeah. Virtual reality in healthcare. So per se, there are doctors who are, I mean, doctors, neurosurgeons who are going to perform surgery, and there are medical students who are practicing. I mean, who are just practicing to become doctors. So for them, in order to learn stuff via book and by seeing some videos, is let's say they learn up to 40% of the real thing, I mean of the stuff, by using videos and books. If when we are introduced virtual reality, it has proven that it increases the understanding capability up to more than 65%. So whereby it has increased the knowledge level and knowledge potential, understanding capabilities of students, I mean of medical students, to a certain extent. So that is one major area where healthcare is where virtual reality is used in healthcare. So mainly in surgeries. And yeah, as I was mentioning, as I was speaking earlier, virtual reality in education. So introducing virtual reality in the education system, the students may, the students understand certain things to a little more level. Let's say, mm, a student, the ocean, understanding, making the student to understand the what a ocean look like. Third, second year old, I mean second standard studying kid, or a third standard studying kid. So the kid understands something like a video. Let's say the kid understand up to something around 40% by using the video. When we increase the capability, I mean when we use the virtual reality kits here, so it definitely increase the potential. So in the video, what you will be seeing is the some fishes moving around, some I mean some sand in the ground. So that is all we will be seeing in the video or on the images. So let's say we wear a goggle and move into the ocean, so we will be looking at a several more things than just a picture or than just a video. So that just increases the understanding capability of the students and increase the potentials and opens room for several ways as well. Yeah, scientific visualization. Right now, in the corona and the corona pandemic period, so what virtual reality does is the scientists can just use goggles and just use hands as, I mean, just you use sensors, I mean, to visualize the to visualize something kind of a virus in a more elaborative way. So thereby the understanding capability is greater. So something to increase those things as well. And entertainment. So as far as the reality is concerned, right now the economy, I mean right now, uh, entertainment industry is the where we can find most of our VR things fit in right now. So where say Star Sports have introduced AR into the commentary channel as well. So VR is something that has huge potential in the entertainment industry in the coming days. So after lockdown, next we have got Tokyo Olympics coming up. So what I think here is, so the economists are predicting there will be 50% decrease in the attendance coming to the Tokyo Olympics, whereby it opens room for technologies like AR, VR, so whereby the user can experience the game by sitting at the home. So this is going to be the uh, key player in the coming days after the COVID-19 lockdown, where we can step up and do some things in the entertainment industry. This is all what is called as virtual reality. And thank you guys for, yeah, I'll just finish up with the advantages and disadvantages. So advantages is something like, so I mean, you just go into the real. I mean, you just experience a real environment, kind of a structure by using virtual reality devices. And on the other hand, disadvantages is you guys, I mean, the cost of the devices are a little bit high, and so the user can explore to several places. I mean, you can just move to some more on several pieces, and it is a bit complex technologies as well. Um, so so that is the thing. We can make a artificial environment to look like a real. On the other hand, what we think is, uh, we cannot make as much as real as thing. There are some limitations to this as well. So this is as for what I have got in the presentation as well. So thank you guys uh, for your time. So I'm open for questions. If you guys have any question to throw across so that I can answer it.
Thank you, Sundar. Thank you so much for the presentation. If you can stop your screen sharing, we'll be able to take some questions for the session right now. We exactly have 10 minutes for this meeting, I guess. So can you stop it?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was a pretty good presentation, Sundar. It was like a full-blown snapshot of how the virtual industry is actually operating right now. So, people, if you have any questions, Sundar is open to answering. So, if you have any questions, just put it forward so that he can put his perspectives in display and can help you. Okay, so let me just add one more point into this. So, where I recently saw that there is a thing called um, Tesla Suit, which is a touch-based virtual reality platform, which understands and triggers, the touch ability of a person more than the visual part of any, like virtual reality device. So I think it was recently launched by a company in the United States, and they are, like actually killing it. So how do you think the next version of augmentation and virtual reality being into a blend stage of like development?
Yeah, that is a good question. So as I was speaking, we just came across some technologies like Leap Motion controller, uh, and placed them as well. So Leap Motion controller is something which is very, uh, I mean, it is a wonderful technology. I'm sure after the meeting is over, do search for PlayStem or Leap Motion. So what it does is, but in Leap Motion, what you guys have to do is just buy a simple hardware device and just connect it with the system. So you will be able to interact with the, interact with the computer world elements by using hand and face gestures. So what it does is, how the future will be like by using hand and face gestures. The coming tendency where you have a hand gadgets and you just swipe up and swipe down like you see in those hi-fi films. Those sci-fi films. So the future is moving to a world where the uh, expectation is becoming reality. So that is where things are moving on right now, and things are moving in a rapid pace. After COVID-19, VR and AR are going to be the real talking points, maybe in the 5 years down the line. So there is a huge amount of research going on, and there are several companies that are getting funded mainly because they are in the VR space, and there are several things coming up as well. So that is going to be a future talking point as well. That is what I would like to say.
Anybody else have any questions to ask Sundar?
Yes, thank you guys. Uh, if you guys have any question, do ping me, do share to Rajgohan or to ping me. So I'll be happy to answer you guys. Thank you for your time. See you guys in the next video. Thank you. Thank you,
Okay,
Gohan.
okay. Thank you, Sundar. Thank you. I think it was like very glad to have you on the platform and share your knowledge in virtual reality. I don't think anybody here would have talked to a person who has actually done some work in virtual reality. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time, Sundar.
Thank you.
We'll be glad to have you on our podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.